Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we bring you the story of an extraordinary individual, someone whose courage in the face of danger, whose selfless decision in a moment of crisis, and whose unwavering commitment to others earned him the highest honor in military history. In this video, we will explore how one act of valor changed a life forever and secured a place in history. The Medal of Honor represents the highest standard of courage and sacrifice in the United States Armed Forces. It is awarded only for acts of heroism so extraordinary that they go far beyond normal expectations of duty. Recipients of this honor place the lives of others above their own, often at the risk of death. Many never return from the actions that earn them this distinction. Among the most remarkable stories in the history of the Medal of Honor is that of Master Sergeant Roy P. Benavidez, a soldier whose courage, endurance, and selflessness during the Vietnam War defied human limits. Roy Benavidez was born on August 5, 1935 in Cuero, Texas, to Mexican-American parents. His childhood was marked by hardship. His father died when Roy was young and his mother passed away soon afterward. Orphaned at an early age, Roy was raised by relatives and grew up in poverty. Despite these challenges, he developed a strong sense of responsibility and resilience. From a young age, he learned to work hard and depend on himself. These early experiences shaped his character and prepared him for the hardships he would later face in military service. In 1952, at the age of 17, Benavidez enlisted in the Texas National Guard. Later, he joined the US Army and trained as an infantryman. He proved himself to be disciplined, motivated, and physically strong. His superiors quickly recognized his leadership potential. Benavidez was deployed to Vietnam in the mid-1960s, where he served with distinction. During an early tour, he stepped on a landmine and was severely wounded. The explosion shattered his spine and left him partially paralyzed. Doctors told him he would never walk again. For many soldiers, such an injury would have ended their military career. For Benavidez, it became another challenge to overcome. Refusing to accept defeat, Benavidez began an intense and painful rehabilitation process. He secretly practiced walking at night when medical staff were not watching. He endured extreme pain and exhaustion as he slowly rebuilt strength in his legs. Through sheer determination and faith, he eventually regained the ability to walk. Against medical advice and expectations, he returned to active duty. Benavidez then volunteered for the Elite Studies and Observations Group (SOG), a highly classified special operations unit that conducted covert missions in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. SOG missions were among the most dangerous of the war, involving deep penetration into enemy territory with small teams. Only the most physically and mentally tough soldiers were selected. Benavidez earned his place through perseverance, skill, and reputation. By 1968, he was serving as a team leader and advisor, responsible for training and leading reconnaissance teams behind enemy lines. On May 2, 1968, a 12-man reconnaissance team from SOG was operating in Cambodia near the border with Vietnam. Their mission was to observe and report on North Vietnamese army movements. During the mission, the team was suddenly discovered by a large enemy force. They were quickly surrounded and attacked by hundreds of enemy soldiers. The team's radio operator managed to transmit a distress call before communications were disrupted. The message reached Benavidez, who was stationed at a nearby base. Without hesitation, Benavidez volunteered to board a helicopter and rescue the trapped team. At the time, he was not scheduled to participate in the mission. He had no obligation to go. He could have stayed behind safely. Instead, he chose to risk his life to save his comrades. Armed only with a medical bag and a knife, Benavidez boarded the helicopter and flew toward the battle. As the helicopter approached the landing zone, enemy fire intensified. Machine guns, rifles, and rockets targeted the aircraft. The pilot was forced to hover at low altitude because landing was too dangerous. Benavidez jumped from the helicopter into a hail of bullets. He immediately ran toward the trapped soldiers, ignoring enemy fire exploding around him. He began treating wounded men, applying bandages, administering morphine, and moving them to safer positions. Within minutes, he was shot in the leg, face, and head. Shrapnel from grenades and mortar rounds tore into his body. Despite these injuries, he refused to stop. He moved from man to man, dragging wounded soldiers through dense jungle, often carrying them on his back. For the next 6 hours, Benavidez continued fighting, rescuing, and organizing under constant enemy fire. He coordinated airstrikes and gunship support using a damaged radio. He threw grenades at advancing enemy troops. He engaged in close combat when necessary. At one point, he was stabbed by an enemy soldier with a bayonet. He killed the attacker with his knife and continued fighting. He was shot multiple times, hit by shrapnel, and burned by napalm. Blood loss and exhaustion pushed him to the brink of death. He repeatedly ran into open areas to signal helicopters for evacuation. When helicopters landed, he helped load wounded soldiers, even while wounded himself. When one helicopter was damaged and forced to leave, Benavidez stayed behind to protect the remaining men. As helicopters attempted to evacuate the wounded, enemy soldiers closed in. Benavidez took defensive positions and returned fire to cover the extraction. He gathered classified documents and equipment to prevent them from falling into enemy hands. He dragged bodies to safe areas and ensured that no wounded man was left behind. At one point, he collapsed from exhaustion and injuries. Medics believed he was dead. They placed him in a body bag. Just before being sealed inside, Benavidez summoned enough strength to spit in a medic's face, signaling that he was still alive. He was immediately rushed for emergency treatment. Doctors later determined that Benavidez had suffered more than 37 separate wounds. These included gunshot wounds, shrapnel injuries, bayonet wounds, broken bones, and severe burns. His survival was considered miraculous. He spent months recovering in hospitals. Despite intense pain, he remained positive and focused on helping others. His actions saved at least 8 lives and ensured that classified material was not captured by the enemy. Initially, Benavidez was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, the second highest military decoration. However, many witnesses believe that his actions deserved the Medal of Honor. Over time, additional testimonies were collected. Due to lost paperwork and administrative delays, it took more than a decade for his case to be properly reviewed. In 1981, President Ronald Reagan awarded Roy Benavidez the Medal of Honor at the White House. During the ceremony, Reagan famously said, "If the story of his heroism were a movie script, you would not believe it." So this was the inspiring story of an extraordinary hero, someone whose courage, sacrifice, and selfless spirit continue to motivate us even today. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more powerful real-life stories like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. Your support helps us bring you more stories of true bravery and honor.